What is going on? Welcome back to another MMA episode, Circle of Debate, featuring the Mares of Pain Brothers Championship on the Line podcast, and the only man on the planet, Chuck Norris Spears, Coach Rage Amy from EYR Ire Fighting Systems. Engage your rage down at Black House in Hollywood. I am stoked to be back with you guys talking about UFC 265, which is Sergey and Derrick, the Black Beast Lewis. My balls was hot for the interim heavyweight championship. We are going to discuss our picks for the main card and have the man with the plan, Coach Rage, put us to school. And I love when he agrees with us. I love when he disagrees with us because I can't argue with the man. The guy hits harder than a Mack truck. So we are going to start this off with the reigning and defending Tapology champion, Alex. Right?
Me first?
Alex? Is it Alex?
I should go last.
You want to go last? All right, then I'll go first.
Oh, no, you don't know. I'll go first. Never mind.
You want to go first? All right.
Yeah, we get over with.
Hey, man, champions pick. How about that? You pick what you want to do. All right. Let me stop that clock real quick. I don't know how to do that. Where did it go?
Still going.
It is still going. I forgot where that button
Still
is.
going.
I know.
It's okay. Give Alex 20. Most of the minute, Alex is going to talk about himself, so that's good.
There you go. All right. So the first card of the night, obviously, there was the unfortunate news that Amanda Nunes had to withdraw due to COVID reasons. Yeah. So her fight actually got pulled versus Juliana Pena. Hopefully that's rescheduled. Really want that fight to happen. I love both them fighters. So I do believe this particular fight, Song Yadong versus Casey Kenny, may have gotten moved up from the prelims to make it a full pay-per-view card because people don't want to pay for 4 fights, and I know I don't. So this card, I believe, was already booked for the event. It just got bumped up. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the clock, give you that minute to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, both these guys, they're coming off losses, but, I mean, they're tough losses. I mean, I think Yadong came with a fight with Kyler Phillips, which was a tough loss, but a really good fight. Even Kenny, too. They're both coming off good fights, especially Kenny with a good fight against Dominic Cruz, which was a very tough fight.
A split against Dom, too, which is nuts.
Yeah. So, I mean, both these guys have something to prove, and it's going to be a really tough, and I think it's going to be a really exciting fight. But I think I'm going to go with Kenny with this one. I think Kenny pulls it off the win, unanimous decision. Okay. It's going to be a really tough fight.
Yeah, there's got to be a lot of confidence in coming off a split loss. I mean, it's a loss anyways, but I mean, you technically won at least one of the rounds in at least 2 of the judges' eyes against a legend like Dom Cruz. So you definitely have to not really be beating yourself up too much. You know, obviously I don't know what's in a fighter's head, but
both of you guys are gonna come into this fight like they're gonna have to prove something.
Yeah, he's gonna come into this fight like he didn't lose that fight and knowing he probably beat Dom in a rematch. The second fight of the night is Tisha Torres, a tiny tornado, versus Angela Overkill Hill.
Yeah, this one's for me. I feel like this is very close. It could go either way. You know, both these are very, they're both veterans in the game. I believe they were both an Ultimate Fighter. So you know, they have very a lot of experience. But man, this is a tough one. They're both coming off of a few wins. I know Tisha Torres has a couple of wins now. With Tisha Torres, you never know what you're gonna expect. There's times where she has a few wins in a row. She has momentum. And then it's back and forth, and it's like, you know. So
yeah, she's on a 2-fight win streak coming off a 4-fight losing streak, which is insane for someone who as talented as she is.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Angela Hill too. She's kind of a very hard person to train for. I mean, she's pretty good all around. She has really, good, decent striking, and the ground game is really good too. So it's gonna be a really good fight. I feel like I'm gonna go with Tisha Torres on this one. I think she gets the decision win on this one.
Ooh, I like that a lot. Next fight, we've got this fucking crazy. This is crazy.
I know.
We don't deserve this fight. Michael Chiesa, the Maverick, versus Vicente Luque, which I think, honestly, this has to be for a title fight. This has to be winner gets Usman versus Covington.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this one is. My heart says Chiesa. Mine says Vicente. I would like to see Chiesa win and get a title shot. He's been in the company for such a long time, and he's fought some of the best fighters out there. So is Vicente too. But I just feel like Vicente, I think, he has a better, more well-round than Vicente. His striking's a little bit good. His striking, he can mix it up. He's good, really good takedowns, and really good striking too. Vicente does have the power to kind of stop him, but I feel like Michael Kiss is really good. He's going to keep it distance, so you land his punches, get a takedown in, mix it up on Vicente. So I'm going to go with Kiss on a decision.
Got it. So another decision. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
So you're looking for a long pay-per-view is what you want to get your money.
Yeah, pretty much.
You want that 3-hour card, which is totally cool, man. Co-main event in that number 2 spot, man. We have the legend Jose Aldo versus Gabriel Munoz. Brazil versus Brazil in the house on this one, man.
Yeah, this one is this was a close one too. But
yeah, the odds weren't up yet, obviously, because I mean it's Monday as we're filming this, and I usually put the odds sometimes are up. They just weren't up as of today, and I don't check DraftKings, even though I probably should.
this one, yeah. I mean, I'm just going because it's based on experience, and he's such a veteran in the game, former world champion. I just feel like I'm gonna go with Aldo on this one, and plus it's also a 3-round fight too. Definitely. So, you know, obviously with 5-round fights, it plays a huge factor too. People were saying this cardio wasn't up to par, you know. So the fact that it is a 3-round fight, I'm gonna go with Aldo. I see him decision. I see when it comes to stand up, he's gonna outclass him. His striking, I think, is way much better than Munoz, and he's very good mixing up with leg kicks and punches. And it's gonna be striking, so it's gonna be a decision on Aldo.
Cool. And the main event, brother, Derrick Lewis, Cyril Gane.
Yeah, this one is could go either way. I mean, Lewis can knock him out, but then Gane can knock him out too. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna go big. I just feel like, in my opinion, I think Gane is a way better striker than Lewis is, in my opinion. I just feel like the only chance Lewis has if he just throws that knockout punch, obviously. But I just feel like Gane is a better striker than he is. He's very good at keeping distance, and anything could happen. Lewis could catch him, but I'm gonna go with Gane in this one. I think he's gonna win the championship, and then I think I see a 3rd round TKO.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. That'd be crazy.
3rd round or 4th round, I see Lewis getting tired.
Right.
And I feel like Gane has a better cardio than he does, and I think that's when he's just gonna start throwing, and he's gonna tire him out and stop him probably in the 4th round. So 4th round
TKO for Cyril Gane and new. Both of them would be and new, but and heavyweight interim title
or interim, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's for the interim. What do you think, Richard? Should I go next, or do you want to take it?
Oh, your audio.
He's muted.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm back on.
No, what's up, man?
You go ahead, Chris.
You want to go next, or should I take this one?
Oh, you're good. You go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I think the confidence of Casey Kenny is about as high as it can be coming off a loss. They're both, I don't know their finishing rates. So I think the safe bet would be Kenny by decision. So that is what I'm going to pick on that one. I don't know if he would, like, let's say, get a rematch with Dom. I don't know if that's a story that Dominique needs to have retold. But I do think Casey's definitely on his way up with a win for sure in a division that it's a little muddy right now. We're trying to figure out who are a lot of the proper contenders. So I'm going to go with Casey Kenny by decision on the first fight of the pay-per-view card. And 4. There we go. All right. I love both of these fighters. Angela Hill gets better and better and more aggressive every time I see her fight. I saw her win the title against Renata D'Souza in Invicta. And she yeah. That fight, she looked like Chuck Liddell versus Tito in their first fight. I was like, holy shit, this is a much improved Angela Hill. And in her return to the UFC, she's gotten more and more aggressive. Her ground defense has definitely gotten better. We know that, an early Rose versus an early Angela Hill, she got tapped with that standing rear naked choke. This isn't the same Angela Hill. So I'm going to go with Angela Hill by decision. I think she's just going to be faster and more clever. Tisha's really fast, very powerful. I think it's just going to be this much more in that direction for Angela Hill by decision.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this fight. This should be a main event on a card for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Chiesa has been on a tear moving up to welterweight, his home weight class. He looks so much better there than he did at 170. Obviously, I think Luque would have to cut off a bicep to make 155. Chiesa is won all of his fights at welterweights. His last 4, all decisions except for the Condit fight, which he got by Kimura. Tapping Condit with the Kimura is insanity. And then if you look at Sanchez, Dos Anjos, and Magny, those are all legends and championship caliber fighters that he decisioned. But we have Luque on the other side, knocking dudes out and tapping them out with a submission over, former champ Tyron Woodley. My heart would love to see Chiesa win this, but I like Luque. I think Luque does hit harder and will take less punches to do damage. So I honestly think Luque can get this done by TKO in the second, and I'm going to go with that. It's a wild bet, but I think it's possible. I think it's going to be one of the first times.
It's possible, yeah.
Right. I don't know how many. Yeah, Chiesa has 1 knockout by strikes. I think it cut from Joe Lozon like 7 years ago. So I'm definitely picking Luque, and then him versus Usman is the fight I want to see. I want that fight very much so. And where did my OBS go? Cool. Co-main event. Man, you can never count Aldo out. He takes beatings. You think his career's over, and then he comes back and he close fight against Marlon Moraes. He lost that fight. They still gave him the title shot. He had that crazy finish against Jeremy Stevens, body shots, finished Jeremy Stevens out. I don't know with Aldo, man. He's got miles. He's like 33, 32, some shit like that. He's super young, 34, and still has like 100 fights under his belt. Munoz can hit so hard, though. He can knock you out of nowhere. We saw that with the Cody fight. I think he beat Jimmy Rivera by strikes. I have to scroll down. I could be wrong. No, it was a split loss a while back. All right, whatever. Sorry. I don't know everything. Oh, man. I want Aldo by decision, but Pedro by KO also makes sense. Oh, man. I'm going to go Aldo decision. I'm going to go my heart completely on that one.
Nice.
Yeah, I just have to. I don't want Aldo's career to be over, but, Munoz is on the way up. And the main event. We all talked last time about why this may or may not be a title fight, but we are in Derrick Lewis's literal barbecued backyard. He is going to go roasty toasty in this fight. Cyril Gane is fantastic. He is pure talent. He's undefeated in MMA, 8-0. 5 of those are all been inside the UFC. Crazy Muay Thai record. He's 13-0 in Muay Thai. Not a lot of finishes by Cyril Gane, and almost only finishes by Derrick Lewis. It takes one bomb from the Black Beast to put you down, and I think you can get it done in 1 round. So I'm going with Derrick Lewis KO first round.
Ooh.
If you were to make me put money down, I think it's very possible, especially when a motivated, literally hungry and motivatedly hungry Derrick Lewis in his city. It's
that's true.
Easy. Not going to be an easy night. And those are my picks. Now we get to go on to the brother from the same mother, Richard. All right, man. We got Sedon Young versus Casey Kenny. Talk to me.
In this fight, like Alex and you, put the nail on the head in that one. It's tough because both guys are coming off a loss. So I like to see that, I like to put that, factor it in. They're going to come in hungry, coming off, a tough loss. And Casey, has nothing to hang, his head down by losing to Dominic Cruz. I think that actually helps him, when you're fighting that kind of fighter, that world-class level. It doesn't do anything but just help you, and get better. And it's going to be a, big factor, facing someone like, Yadon. But saying that, I still feel that Song is, I guess, more well-rounded in my opinion. I think Don will take the decision over that. I think he defeats Casey by decision. Cool.
Yeah. I'd like to, at least one person picks Yadong in that one, which is totally awesome. Tisha Torres versus Angela Overkill Hill.
That one is a tough one. Like you said, Angela Hill comes forward. I love her style. She never gives up. She's getting better and better. I just hate to see her record where she'll kill it for 3 fights and then she'll suffer through, a losing streak, and then she'll come back. I mean, she's 1-2 in her last 3 fights, but she's not fighting, nobodies. I mean, she lost to Claudia Gadelia. She lost to Watterson. She's coming off a win. My heart wants to say Angela Hill, but my mind is saying Keisha Torres. I just think Torres has, advantage. I think overall she's a great mixed martial artist, whether it's the ground or stand up. And just by saying that, yeah, I see Torres winning. It's a tough call, but it could be either way. Hill could take it, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Keisha.
By decision or KO submission? What do you think?
I see decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I don't see it finished, but I wouldn't be surprised if either one took a decision on this for sure.
Yeah, because she has 12 wins and 10 of those are by decision. Most of Angela Hill's losses are by decision. I think 7 of her 9 losses are by decision. So just factoring the stats, I'm gonna say decision.
Gotcha. Michael Chiesa, Vicente Luque.
Yeah, Michael, don't ever talk about my mom, Chiesa.
Bro, yeah, right.
That's all you need. If Vicente says anything about his mom, it's gonna be a different fight. Chiesa's looking great. He's improved, like you said, from the Lausanne fight, from his earliest fights. He's improved, and he's in a tear with 4 wins in a row. He's beaten the guys. He's fought like guys with Condit, Magny, Pettis, Lausanne. Even those losses, he's gotten better and better. He's so close to, a championship title shot. But the same thing with Vicente Luque. Vicente is, a monster. She's dangerous. His last win, he's defeated Woodley by, a Bravo choke in the first round, which was really impressive.
He rocked him on the feet too. I think he
he rocked
on the feet.
He rocked him, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was it. This is a tough one, but I'm gonna go with Vicente. I don't see anyone stopping this guy right now.
Love that. What do you think that the result will be?
I'm gonna say I think decision as well.
Okay, cool. The new co-main event. Legend versus future legend.
Yeah, what else can you say about Jose Aldo? You said it best. He gets that title shot, and it was a great fight even before
off
that.
Off a loss, and Dana thought that he won that fight. Yeah, I thought he won that fight too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, even if age, he's still durable. The older he gets, I don't know how he take the punishment. Pedro is a great fighter too. Like you said, he has that one-punch knockout. He can do it, but I don't see him doing that versus Jose Aldo. I just think Aldo is just too much of a veteran, and he's crafty, and he'll think of something.
Word I was thinking.
He just, right there, yeah. I don't see Jose Aldo losing this one.
Cool. So
I'm gonna go the same thing. I think decision as well. I think a lot of these fights can go by decision.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a long night for most of these fights, which is gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Cool. And the main event of the night.
It's tough. Like you said, Lewis could go and knock this guy out. The thing is with Lewis, if you see a lot of these exchanges, he'll take some punches to give that one shot. And it's kind of scary versus a guy like, Cyril, you can't do that. Cyril, it's crazy to think that this guy's never lost in any form competition. He's never lost in his pro, and as a pro at least. He hasn't no losses as a kickboxer, no losses as a mixed martial artist.
His entire professional career is completely undefeated.
Never.
Yeah.
And he adjusts. I hate that it hurts to see when Dana White was saying, "Oh, he's a boring fighter." He's not doing what he's supposed to do. But yes, he is. If he wants to clinch and put against the cage, he's being a smart fighter. He's doing enough what to do to win those fights. That's why he's undefeated, never lost. But the thing is, could he do that game plan versus Lewis? Lewis doesn't need a lot of space to throw that right hand and finish it and call it a night. That's how scary it is. But by saying that, I'm going to say Lewis knockout. I would say in the second or third round.
Nice, yeah. Lewis just tweeted out like today or yesterday, like, if I win this belt, the entire heavyweight division should be ashamed because I don't train. I'm not a fighter. I don't know what I'm doing. Some self-deprecating bullshit, which I know that he trains. I know like Rampage he hates training, and he's got talent. He's there for a reason. But yeah, as far as game plan goes, I'm gonna hit you as hard as I fucking can before you hit me, and that generally works out for him. With this fight, if he wins by KO, he either ties or sets the new all-time knockout record, I think, in the entire company, not just the heavyweight division. I think he breaks Anderson's streak or record. I think it's Anderson that has it. And I think he's about to tie it or break it, which it's going to happen. This isn't going to be Derrick's last fight, I don't think. And so it's just a matter of time before that record is his.
And how scary is that any time that punch could come out? We saw with the Volkov fight. I mean,
We
the man
saw
was
it in
exhausted.
for his blade fight. There was like this much room
too.
to land that uppercut. It reminded me of when Shane Carwin knocked out
Yes.
Gabriel Gonzaga with that 6-inch punch of death. Like he just needs knuckle amount of space. You know, he just needs that much room,
Crazy.
and you're fucking dead. I don't want to know what it's like to be put to sleep like that.
No.
It's insane. And speaking of insane, we're going to talk to the man who knows so much more about what we're talking about. We're a bunch of Cheeto Finger casuals over here compared to this man. We're going to let the coach take us to school. It's a free lesson. And we're going to pick up what he's throwing down. He's going to tell us whether we're wrong, right, or close. And he does not get the clock because this is invaluable, priceless information. So take a seat, kids, and listen to the man talk about the first fight of the night, coach.
Clock is going. The clock
No,
is
no clock. I'm going to delete it. No clock. We're good.
Hey, it's great to be back. Thank you guys for having me. Wow. Can I just say this card, every single fight is so damn close. So damn close. And yet there are going to be some dramatic finishes. We just got to sort through and see what's what. This fight here, Casey Kenny and Song Yadong, man, this is a great fight. Yadong puts people to sleep, and at this weight class, at bantamweight, that's not that common. Casey Kenny, I think he mind fucked himself. He got a little starstruck when he was fighting Decisionator, Dominic Cruz. Casey should have won that fight, and he should have finished Dom, but he got in his head. He started slow, and made some what I would call rookie mental mistakes. Casey Kenny is tough and fast, and Yadong hits hard, but I'm going to go with Casey Kenny, but I don't see him finishing Yadong. I think he's going to win by decision.
Okay, cool. Next fight, Tiny Tornado versus Overkill Hill.
Yeah, again, this is going to be an incredibly close fight.
Yeah.
And full disclosure, I am going with Tisha Torres because I think Angela Hill is one of the most annoying people on the fucking planet. Her personality and her voice, I just find her incredibly annoying.
You don't like the video game references?
I don't like anything she does. Or how she sounds, or she just annoys me. So yeah, Tornado by decision.
Cool. Got it. Maverick. What's Vicente? Vicente Luque has a nickname, right? What does he go by? Like the fucking snake? Silent Assassin. Yeah. I was half right. Snakes, assassins, whatever.
Okay. Now this fight definitely sorry guys, this fight is this is a great fight. I mean, Pedro Munoz is my boy. He's my boy. He was Black House. He's my teammate. I babysat his daughter. He's my boy. And I think that this fight between Chiesa and Luque should be the co-main event.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I was wondering where you were going with that, and I love it.
So how I see this, Luque hits harder. I don't see it being equal. I don't see Chiesa having really much choice but to take it down. I don't see Chiesa being able to stand with Luque. But Chiesa is a master technician on the ground, but Vicente is also very good. And defending submissions is easier than getting submissions. For a submission to go right, there's 5 or 6 things that have to fall in line. And to prevent a submission, you just have to prevent one of those 5 or 6 things. So I don't see Chiesa being able to submit Luque. I think Luque by decision, because even though he is a phenomenal power puncher, I think he's not going to be able to put Chiesa to sleep. So I think it's going to be a battle. I think Chiesa gets beat up and bloody. I think there's going to be a big gash, a big cut. Chiesa's right eye is going to get split open and bloodied, but I don't think he's going to sleep. I think decision, Vicente Luque.
Got it. And the co-main event of the night.
Bias as fuck.
Hey man, it is what it is. You have inside information basically.
Round 2, Pedro Munoz is going to step in with the overhand right. He's going to wobble Jose Aldo. Aldo is still going to be awake, but he's going to be on Queer Street. And then Munoz is going to grab a head, arm in, guillotine, and get the submission. Now, if you look at Munoz's record, he is a guillotine machine and he's a knockout machine. I don't think he's going to sleep Aldo, though. I think he's going to wobble Aldo and get that killer guillotine that he has. Round 2.
6
Pedro
guillotines.
Munoz.
6 out of his 19 wins and 6 of his 8 submissions are guillotines. That reminds
6
me of
out of 8 submissions are guillotines, and 4 of 6 of those guillotines are arm in guillotine, which is much more difficult to finish than straight guillotine. So, yeah, he's crazy. He's phenomenal. I've trained with him, and he's now at American Top Team in Florida. But
okay.
Yeah, he's my boy.
I love that you're calling not just the finish, but the sequence of events. I can't argue with you. Obviously, you're the
that overhand right. He wobbled Frankie Edgar with it. He slept.
Was it Cody?
No love with it.
It was like a hook. It was definitely like a counter right for sure. Fucking cracked him so hard.
Yep. Pedro put Cody Garbrandt to sleep with the overhand right. So now Aldo, as everyone has pointed out, is getting older, but he's also getting slower. And he had an old power-based Muay Thai style, big kicks, looping punches. Pedro's going to be able to get inside that and piece him apart. So
cool.
It's not just total blind bias, but
right. There are
mostly biased.
And on to our main event, a combined weight of like 600 pounds. At least.
This is crazy, right? We'll look at Cyril Gane, undefeated, super technical, super athletic, warrior athlete, very, very good. He was able to pressure Volkov in a way that people just don't. If we do a little MMA math and we look at the common denominator, it is Volkov.
Yeah.
And Volkov pieced apart Derrick Lewis for 14 minutes and 49 seconds.
Yeah.
And Gane was able to pressure Volkov and beat him 3 out of 5 rounds. So MMA math would dictate that Gane would then be able to pressure and piece apart Lewis.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Lewis is going to knock out Gane. So what I said was Gane's a phenomenal athlete. And Lewis is, if you look at his history, if you look at where he came from, he's a fighter. He was desensitized to physical violence as a baby and has just been fighting all his life. I think Derrick Lewis is going to be the Ngannou, and I think it's going to happen faster and sooner than we know what to do with. Man, I'm going to say it's going to surprise everyone. Late round one, yeah, I think at the end of the first round, Derrick is going to knock out Cyril.
Gotcha. Now, with that title win, and obviously this being an interim title fight for reasons that I think we discussed just don't make too much sense besides just money in the seats. Obviously, Francis is healthy. He just wanted to wait a few more months. Derrick Lewis being one of only 2 people to beat Ngannou. Do you think they're banking on Lewis winning to get that rematch to make a star out of one of these two?
I think whoever wins is a dangerous matchup for Ngannou, which is why they wanted to make this fight. They wanted to protect Ngannou because both these guys can beat Ngannou. Both these guys can. And Ngannou can knock out anything and anyone. Yeah.
A rhinoceros,
Yeah.
a hippopotamus, a T-Rex.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah. So I think strategically the UFC just thought that, I think they just thought this was a better strategy to have these 2 dangerous fighters eliminate each other, and then the real threat to Ngannou. And if Ngannou defends the title, there's a rematch to make with Stipe. There's a match to make with the loser of this fight. There's still matches to make. If Ngannou loses, then he could fight the loser of this fight and get back into contention. So I think they're just playing smart money and protecting their assets.
No, I'm talking about smart money. I don't know if we talked about this last time, but what about the Pico factor? Not Aaron Pico, but picograms. This big question about the heavyweight move of Jon Jones. Do you think that's completely off the table or batshit insane if they do want to run that fight? Anyone have any ideas? Do you think they're trying to just stall that fight and wait for Jones to actually be heavyweight?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I don't know. Jones, like Dana is not happy with Jon. Jon's not happy with the UFC. But whatever sells is the fight that is going to get made. So if they can come to an agreement, if Jon Jones, Jon Jones gets whatever match he wants.
Right.
Is he stupid enough to go right into a fight with Ngannou or Lewis or Sogan? Is he stupid enough to do that without a warm-up fight, without a tune-up fight in the heavyweight division?
An OSP type fight, if you will, at heavyweight.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of good tune-up fights that you can make and justify Jon Jones going up to heavyweight.
Right. Walt Harris would be fantastic. I'd love to see that fight because Walt.
You can even put him with Stipe too, though. Stipe versus Jon.
Yep.
I know DC's retired, but that would be great to see them at that weight class too.
That's funny. That's funny. I didn't even think about that.
Steve, DC always said, he had said, like, at heavyweight it'd be a different story, Jon Jones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if anything pulled DC out of retirement, it would be not only Jones, but that fatty paycheck.
Yeah, that's craziness. That's craziness. I didn't even think about that. But, yeah, I mean, DC, he's retired, right? So.
I mean, I can name like 3 fighters that have retired 3 times.
That's right.
Never
That's right.
know.
Thing is, though, I mean, DC he's up there in age.
Yeah,
he's way overweight. He's having problems with his back.
Yeah.
And I think I believe him when he said he's done. He's
Right.
retired.
Yeah, I feel that way too. He hasn't really teased it at all. He hasn't blown up the retweets for Jones. I know they usually go back and forth on Twitter when their names are in each other's mouths, and that hasn't been the case at least in like 6 months.
Yep.
So, yeah, I would love to see Jones at heavyweight. I mean, inside the cage, I'm a Jones fan. That's the best compliment I can give him. Is within the confines of his physical talent inside of a cage when he's not breaking rules. In or outside of that cage, the dude's fantastic. And yeah, I know that him and Dana have that batshit crazy, very Tito-esque relationship where they love to hate each other, but know they make each other a lot of money, so they usually come to an agreement.
Yep.
And whether or not they're waiting for Jones to beef up to heavyweight, I don't even know if he's still trying to do that. A tune-up fight would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's huge right now.
I mean, he was huge fight
Jon
night.
Jones.
In 205, he weighed in the ring at like 224, 230. So I can imagine he walks around at heavyweight, probably 240.
He's over 240, pretty consistently, and the weights that he puts up, he could easily fight at heavyweight.
Nice.
It's just the details of making the fight.
I think he wanted $6 million up front, and then he turned it down, and Derrick Lewis at 22. He's like, I'll do it for $2 million or some shit.
Yeah.
I will fight Cyril Gain for $2 million. Fuck it. They have insurance. I'll be good.
That's interesting to think about.
Yeah. Probably worth it. I'll just tap. I'll go in the ring. I'll dive for a leg and just submit.
The Bob Sapp technique.
Yeah, right.
I think you broke my nose. Oh man. Well, those were our picks. Did anyone else have anything they wanted to address regarding this fight? Any other theories or conspiracies going into this one?
No.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to find out when they're going to reschedule the Pena Nunez match.
I just want to rate how incredibly close every single fight on this card truly is. We all have our picks. We all have our opinions, but this card is one of the closest, can go either way type cards that I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah. Once the odds come out, there's going to be a couple of questions that will be answered, and it's going to be how even the matches are. There's going to be almost no upsets, and nobody's going to make any real money by betting on an underdog. I think the biggest gap in underdogness would be maybe the main event. But even then, I don't know which way, I'll go talk to, what is it, Vinny the Greek? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see what he says about it in his most Shylock way of putting it. I want to go see what he says about this fight for sure. But yeah, nothing's going to surprise me unless there's a stylistic finish I don't see coming. If Derrick Lewis gets like a knee bar, or if he gets a Peruvian necktie, I'll be pretty upset. But that's the only shocking thing that I can see happening.
But not outside the realm of possibility. Man, I'm excited about this card. I really am. I'm excited about this. Every fight, I want to see.
Yeah, every one of these fights could be a main event on an ESPN card. Maybe not the Sedong Yang fight, but give it a couple of years, maybe he'll be up there. But
did I tell you guys that Casey Kenny knocked out a friend of mine?
No.
Yeah.
No, was that Vince Conchero?
Vince Conchero, yeah, he was
his
teammate,
his only knockout. So that was easy to figure out.
Yeah, and lightning fast, and he was coming up from flyweight to challenge at bantamweight, and minor error. Vince just made a tiny footwork mistake, and Casey just bam, and it was lightning fast. It was big straight right followed by a power knee, and yeah, it was
I'll
just
find that one for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it looked
LFA.
like he doubled up his titles. He went from flyweight to bantamweight and won both belts in LFA that way.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. And if you guys get if you have UFC Fight Pass, LFA has some of the best fights, best cards.
It's replaced WWE
phenomenal
for sure as far as like local upcoming talent and almost farm field style way.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate everyone's perspective, Coach. Always an honor. Bow to your sensei. I cannot wait to find out he gets to defend or and new the Tapology Picks Championship next Saturday.
It's still Chris. Come on.
It's still Chris. You're right. And still Chris. I love
No,
that.
I'm the new champ.
I know you are. I'm just
I'm
kidding.
a 3-time.
Well, a lot of us had the same picks on the main card, so it's going to come down
That's true.
to the preliminary card, which is like 9 or 10 fights. I'm also excited for because you should never sleep on an undercard. We saw that with the last event 2 days ago. People were like, "Oh, it's just a boring ESPN fight night with fighters we've never heard of." Put on a hell of a card of the year as far as non-pay-per-view events go. Tons of finishes, crazy knockouts, a bunch of new stars in the making. Never sleep on undercards and fighters you've never heard of. Those fighters are hungry, talented, and pissed off, and they want to be on that pay-per-view card.
Even this undercard coming up is pretty good too. I mean, you got Ed Herman is still fighting.
Doing the damn thing, man. Season 2,
right?
Yeah. Lost to Kendall Grove in the finals to a darts joke and just Carolina Kovacevic, title contender. Jessica Petty, title contender. That's the first fight on the free card. Insane. Bobby Green's been at it. I mean, they used to fight in Affliction. Like, he's been in it for a minute, too. You know, like, remember Affliction? Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
I do remember Affliction.
The one, another company shut down by a hot cup of piss. Thank you, John. That's like 2 or 3 in a row that he tanked because of that one sample. But I appreciate it really from the bottom of my heart. I love talking MMA with you guys. I love having a professional's perspective, and we are going to follow up our results next Monday to see who is the new and still Tapology champion. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, brothers Mares, Richard, and Alex, and I will see you guys in 7 days. Thank you.